all back to the social class. We are seeing about the money and credit chapter, and we have seen about the terms of credit and various arrangement of credit in the previous class. Now we are getting into the topic that is the formal sector of India. So if you see formal sector of India, just imagine that you are in need of money and you are going to your own relatives, your own friends, and you are asking for money. So whether the money will be given as such, if it is very less of money, like around 10,000 or 15,000, they will give you, trusting that you will give back the money, right? But when at the situation of around lakhs, it comes into an aspect which is known as collateral, which we saw in the previous terms of credit. Do you remember, my dear students? Yes. So this terms of credit also includes the collateral. So they may ask you for an collateral. So here what happens is that the interest may vary. So they may demand you for giving interest also. So here if you see, we are going to see about two important things, that is formal sector and informal sector. So what is formal sector? I'll tell you. Formal sector is being considered as the formal, proper way of getting loan from the bank. That is called as the formal sector, and can be from the cooperative society. The other thing, informal sector. Informal sector is from your relatives, friends, or from your money lender. If you are getting money, then it is considered as an informal sector. And what is about formal sector is that you have lot of advantage towards the formal sector. So this formal sector gives you a loan with a collateral, right? Yes, gives you a loan with a collateral, and this loan interest will be fixed interest rate. Yes, so it will have a proper fixed interest rate, whereas in the informal sector, the loan is being given, the money is being given to the money borrower in an higher interest rate, and he will be not able to repay it. So we saw in Swapna's case, do you remember, my dear students, where she got loan from the money lenders and it created a situation in such a way that she is not able to repay the money, because of which she has get into the debt. Debt means, as I told you already, kadan. So she is being put into that kind of situation. Similarly, if you get into the informal sector, so you can find that definitely there will be a possibility of getting into the trap or a debt trap. So formal sector and informal sector. So formal sector, the loan from the bank and cooperative sector. Among the formal or the banks or from the cooperative sector. Informal sector leading includes money lenders, traders, employers, relatives, and the friends. If you have your book, you can get into your book and see the graph which is being given in your book. It is the source of credit per rupees 1000 of rural households in India in 2012. If it is your revised book, you will have 2016 or 17. So this is about the formal and informal sector. And if you know that the banks which is being there in India is being under the control of Reserve Bank of India. So this Reserve Bank of India supervises the functions of all the bank. Okay, so when it is supervising, it will have details of all the information related to the banks. And for instance, we have seen that the bank maintains the minimum balance. Yes or no? So minimum balance of 500 rupees it will be maintaining in all the person's account. It is because that RBI wants a depositor to have that amount. Okay, so the RBI monitors the bank in all the activity of maintaining the cash balance down. Similarly, RBI also gives loan for just profit lenders. It is not going to give loan just for the profiters alone. It is giving loan for all the members who has to get benefited by this. Okay, and even for the small lenders, small businessmen, the bank will be providing loan with the collateral, and periodically the bank have to submit the information to the RBI. So whatever loan activity that is going on, whatever the transaction that is going on in the bank has to be submitted to the RBI periodically. They did not mention once in a year or something like that. Periodically they are supposed to submit. So RBI on how much they are lending, to whom they are lending, and what is the interest rate they are lending. All these detail has to be given to the Reserve Bank of India. And there are another organization, or they can be, they are saying that there is no other organization like this to supervise the informal sector of credit. So if you see informal sector of credit, it is from the money lenders. So money lenders give to the borrower the money at a higher rate of interest, so they can demand him to pay at any time, and he may use some kind of practices like musclements, or he can even use unfair means to get back his money. And if collateral is being given, as we saw already, the collateral means it is the assert of the person who is getting. If I am getting the collateral from you means it is the assert of me. Okay, so the assert of me means where I can, if you are not paying the money back to me, I have all right to sell that and get that money. So that is how it will be taking the informal sector person who is getting money into a worse condition. Okay, so they will not have proper maintenance of document. No one is there to supervise them. They may use an unfair practice to collect the money. They may even sell the collateral. They may increase the interest rate every year once. So because of this, you can find that they may go into the debt or into the problem like and situation of an debt trap also. What happened to Swapna? So here you can find that the high cost of borrower means an large part of earning of the borrower has been used to repay the money. So in the situation of informal sector, whatever he is earning, part around 50 to 70% of the money what he is earning is being given to repayment of his loan. So that is how the situation of them has been going on. So instead of getting into an informal sector, there is a formal sector which is giving us a loan where the common people can utilize it. So that is what is about the formal sector and informal sector. So if you see here, a cheap and affordable credit is crucial for all the countries' development. So they are saying if credit is being given to all, whether it will be in development or it will not be in development. So bank and cooperative society need to lend more money to the lenders. They would lend high income, and many people could be borrowing cheaply from the variety of needs, and they could even use that for their own purposes, like for small scale industries or small business things. They could invest, so that the cheap credit and affordable credit will help them to improve their condition. Okay, so this is what is about the formal and informal sector. So just a small graph which is being given in your book. It is about the formal and informal credit, who gets what. So if you look into the picture, you will be knowing it very well. So people are classified as poor householders, householders with few assets, well householders, rich householders. So if you see in this, this purple color is the formal sector and the blue color is informal sector. If you see the poor householders, in this 85% of them are getting loan from the informal sector, that is from the money lenders. And if you see about the formal thing that is getting is around 15% only, 15. Okay. The next thing about the householders and with few less asset which they are having, they go for 50-50, like 47% they go for the formal sector and 53% they go for the informal sector. Then the well-off people who's been good enough, so they go 72% they go for the bank loans, that is formal sector, and the 28% they go to the informal sector. Okay, and the rich householders 90% they are dependent on the bank loans. So the remaining, that is 10%, only they go for the informal sector from the money lenders or from some other person. If you see, why these people are not going, the poor householders are not going for the formal sector is that formal sector demands the collateral. So collateral is not possible. They will not have land of their own. They will not have their own jewels or something like that. So when this situation, they cannot get into the condition of formal sectors agreement. So there is a possibility of them to get into an informal sector of loan. So this is what is about the formal sector and informal sector of loan, my dear students. So we'll see a graph which is there in the book now, my dear students, that who is getting the loan, more numbers. So we have seen that the informal lending that is being carried out with an high interest and do not increase the income of the borrower, right? So it is not giving any benefit to the borrowers when they are getting the informal source of credit. Thus it is necessary for the formal sector to practice, particularly in the rural areas. They are supposed to give lot of importance in the rural areas to improve and provide lot of formal sector loans and increase the people getting loan from the formal sector and reduce the people getting loan from the informal sector. Secondly, we have to learn one more thing, that is, while formal sector loan needs to expand, it has to expand, and it is also necessary that everyone should get benefited out of the formal sector. This formal sector should not only restricted to the rich families or the own businessmen or well-versed businessmen alone. It should be for all the peoples who get benefited. So that can be a relaxation which can be made for the welfare of the people to get formal sector loan without collateral or something like that. Okay, so we have an activity which I wanted you to do. So let us work this out. So this has to be done together. I don't know, as this situation we are not able to do it, so I am giving you this as an homework. Please do it, my dear students. Okay, so what is the homework is that you are going to write what is the difference between formal and informal source of credit. Okay, and why should credit at reasonable rate to be available for all? Why it should be available? We have seen, you are supposed to write. Should there be an supervisor such as Reserve Bank of India that look into the loan activity of informal credit, and why should it take such kind of task to be find out the difficulty? So this you are supposed to write the answer. Then why do we think that the share of formal sector credit is high for the rich householders comparing to the poor? So why do you feel that the loan, formal sector of loan is given only to the rich people and it is not given to the poorer people, poor householders? So this thing go through, and down you have a picture where a person is doing an craft work, like a bed sheet which he is designing, and he is asking, do you think that I will get loan from the bank? So justify the picture also, my dear students. Okay, so this is what is today's homework. Do it and send me. Thank you, my dear students.